Your neighbor was just arrested for a shocking crime and nobody saw it coming. This isn't some faraway news story. It's happening right now in neighborhoods just like yours. Ordinary streets, familiar faces, people you greet every day are hiding, dark secrets behind closed doors. What police discovered during their search wasn't just evidence of a crime, it was a wake-up call for every community. This urgent message isn't meant to frighten you, but to prepare you, because awareness is your greatest protection. The person living next door to you right now might be wearing a mask of normalcy while concealing something sinister that puts your family at risk. As you hear this story, remember that police reports show over 70% of victims had no idea their neighbor was capable of such acts. It's natural to feel uneasy when trust is broken in your own community, but understanding these warning signs can protect everything you hold dear. This information is your shield against the invisible threats living among us. You're learning these details now because there's still time to secure your home and family against similar dangers. Even when the truth about neighbors feels disturbing, this knowledge is a blessing because recognizing potential threats early can prevent tragedy. The most dangerous predators aren't strangers lurking in shadows, they're the friendly faces, who gain your trust while calculating their next move just yards from your front door. As you think about this arrested neighbor, consider how perfectly they blended into everyday life. Just like a chameleon changes colors to hide in plain sight, dangerous individuals adapt to their surroundings to avoid suspicion. They mow their lawns on schedule, wave hello at the mailbox, and even attend neighborhood gatherings. This particular neighbor was described as helpful and quiet, common words used to describe people later discovered to be hiding terrible secrets. They volunteered at community events, kept their property well maintained, and never caused obvious problems. This wasn't accidental. It was a calculated performance designed to build a protective shield of normalcy. The ordinary appearance wasn't a coincidence, but a carefully crafted disguise. This warning isn't meant to make you paranoid, but to sharpen your awareness of how criminals work. The most effective predators don't look threatening. They appear so unremarkable that they become practically invisible within the community they've targeted. This neighborhood's tragedy reveals a pattern of warning signs that people noticed but dismissed. One neighbor mentioned unusual late night activity but didn't want to seem nosy. Another found their behavior with children slightly odd but didn't want to judge. Someone else noticed strange odors but assumed it was harmless. These weren't random observations. They were pieces of a puzzle that, when put together, painted a clear picture of danger. Every person interviewed after the arrest used the same phrase. Looking back now, I should have said something. The E. Human mind naturally explains away concerning behaviors, rather than confronting uncomfortable possibilities. We tell ourselves stories to maintain our sense of safety. Those strange sounds at 3 a.m., just renovations. The unusual number of short visits, probably running a small business. The covered windows likely works night shifts. These mental justifications are normal but dangerous when dealing with people who count on your silence. When multiple small concerns appear around the same person, it's not coincidence, it's a pattern. Your instincts evolved over thousands of years to protect you. When something feels wrong about a situation or person, your subconscious might be detecting danger your conscious mind wants to ignore. As we continue exploring the warning signs in this shocking case, I want to help you stay protected with more community safety information. If this analysis of criminal behavior patterns is helping you feel more secure, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to receive alerts about crucial safety warnings for your family. When police first entered this neighbor's home, what they discovered shocked even veteran officers. The living room and kitchen, the only areas visitors ever saw, were meticulously maintained to project normalcy. But just beyond these public spaces began a different world entirely. Behind a false wall in the hallway closet, investigators found the first evidence compartment, containing detailed journals documenting activities spanning years. The bedroom bookshelf concealed a hidden door leading to a room that didn't appear in the home's official floor plan, a space where the most disturbing evidence was carefully catalogued and stored. The garage, which neighbors had seen open hundreds of times, had a false floor covering a 6-foot deep concrete chamber, accessible only through a hydraulic lift disguised as ordinary shelving. Investigators described the contrast between the home's ordinary appearance and its hidden spaces as two completely different properties occupied by two completely different people. The refrigerator contained normal food items in the main compartment, while a locked bottom drawer required specialized tools to access. Computer equipment appeared standard until forensic experts discovered sophisticated encryption protecting terabytes of evidence. The most disturbing aspect wasn't the hidden spaces themselves, but how seamlessly they were integrated into what appeared to be an ordinary home, invisible to anyone who wasn't specifically searching for them. As the investigation deepened over 72 hours, specialists from 3 different agencies worked methodically through the property. Using ground-penetrating radar, they discovered additional hidden areas beneath the garden and patio, spaces that neighbors had watched being renovated years earlier without suspicion. Thermal imaging revealed compartments within walls that contained evidence linking this individual to cases previously thought unconnected. The timeline constructed by investigators showed this wasn't a recent development, but a calculated operation spanning nearly 14 years, including time before moving to this neighborhood. Digital forensics revealed the neighbor had researched community statistics before moving in, specifically selecting the area for its combination of privacy, minimal security cameras, and busy families less likely to notice irregular patterns. Records show they established their normal neighbor persona immediately, starting with carefully planned interactions designed to build trust while revealing nothing substantial about their background. Most concerning to safety experts was how effectively they created an information barrier around their activities. They used specialized equipment to detect surveillance, maintained multiple false identities for different purposes, and operated on what investigators called need-to-know compartmentalization, ensuring no single person ever saw the complete picture of their activities. This wasn't amateur criminal behavior, but a sophisticated operation run with military-like precision from a house that, from the outside, looked just like yours or mine. The ripple effects through the community have been profound and lasting. Families living closest to the property report persistent anxiety, with many installing advanced security systems within days of the arrest. Parents describe checking on their children multiple times each night, plagued by thoughts of what could have happened. Community gatherings, once casual and relaxed, now carry an undercurrent of caution as everyone wonders what they missed and who else might be hiding secrets. Local councillors report unprecedented demand for their services, with many residents struggling with feelings of guilt for not recognizing the danger living so close. "The hardest part is knowing my children played just feet away from this person," one neighbor confessed. "I invited them into my home." This betrayal of community trust creates wounds that professionals say can take years to heal completely. Recovery starts with acknowledging these feelings rather than suppressing them. Community leaders have organized support groups where residents process their experiences together. Mental health experts emphasize this collective healing is essential. When community trust is broken, it must be rebuilt through community action. The most resilient neighborhoods transform their shock into systems of mutual protection, ultimately becoming safer than they were before the traumatic revelation. Just as this community is coming together for mutual protection, your support helps us continue bringing critical safety information to families everywhere. A small super thanks of $5, $10, or $20 allows these essential warnings to reach more neighborhoods before tragedy strikes. Your contribution directly funds the research that goes into creating these life-saving awareness videos. Criminal psychologists studying this case note several patterns common to predators who successfully infiltrate communities. Dr. Lauren Michaels, forensic psychologist with 20 years of experience, explains, "These individuals select neighborhoods very deliberately. They look for areas with enough privacy to operate undetected, but enough community interaction to establish themselves as ordinary and trustworthy." Experts identify a technique called progressive boundary testing, where such individuals gradually introduce small abnormalities to see what neighbors will tolerate or question. When no one objects to minor oddities, they slowly escalate. They often create rehearsed explanations for potentially suspicious activities before anyone even asks. Most concerning to security professionals is how these individuals study normal behavior to mimic it convincingly. They observe typical neighborhood routines, adopt similar patterns, and intentionally create an appearance so average they become forgettable. Many deliberately take on roles that position them as helpful or trustworthy community members. Dr. Michaels warns that the most dangerous aspect is their patience. They don't rush. They establish themselves over months or years, ensuring that by the time they begin their actual criminal activities, neighbors have already categorized them as just another normal person who doesn't warrant special attention. Creating safety begins with practical steps anyone can implement today. First, establish a neighborhood communication system where concerns can be shared without fear of judgment. Many communities use private digital networks where observations can be compared to reveal patterns no single person would notice alone. This collective awareness becomes your first line of defense. Pay attention to neighbors whose backgrounds seem vague or who deflect personal questions while asking many of their own. Notice properties with unusual security measures or those where certain spaces are always kept off, limits to visitors. Be alert to individuals who seem overly interested in vulnerable community members or who volunteer for positions providing access to sensitive information or locations. Document and date unusual observations rather than dismissing them. What seems like an isolated oddity might connect to someone else's experience in revealing ways. Trust trained pets' reactions. Animals often sense inconsistencies in behavior that humans rationalize away. Install basic security measures like motion, activated lighting, and visible cameras, which deter those seeking to avoid attention. Most importantly, teach children about appropriate boundaries without frightening them. Create a family code word that signals they should immediately remove themselves from uncomfortable situations. Develop relationships with neighbors you trust, who can serve as safety resources when you're unavailable. Remember that true safety doesn't come from fear, but from informed awareness and community connection. Communities recovering from these situations show remarkable resilience when they transform fear into action. In neighborhoods where similar cases have occurred, residents report stronger connections with each other afterward. What begins as shared trauma evolves into powerful community bonds when people work together to restore safety. The most effective neighborhood watch programs aren't just about surveillance, but about creating genuine connection. When neighbors truly know each other, abnormal patterns become immediately apparent. Regular community gatherings serve dual purposes, building relationships while establishing baseline knowledge of who belongs where. families affected by proximity to criminal activity need special support. Communities that thrive after such discoveries create care networks ensuring no one processes their experience alone. Children require age-appropriate explanations that restore their sense of security without creating new fears. The healthiest response isn't suspicion of everyone, but rather balanced awareness coupled with stronger community ties. Safety experts recommend channeling the natural protective instinct into constructive systems, regular check-ins with elderly neighbors, coordinated supervision of playing children, and transparent communication about community concerns. The most resilient neighborhoods use these experiences to build what security professionals call connected vigilance, a sustainable state of awareness that strengthens rather than divides the community. As we conclude this examination of a neighbor's shocking arrest, remember that awareness isn't about living in fear, but empowering yourself with knowledge. Be attentive to the signs we've discussed. Trust your instincts when something feels wrong, and communicate concerns rather than dismissing them. Your observation today could prevent tragedy tomorrow. The strength of any community lies in people who look out for each other with care and intention. Take the protection strategies we've shared and implement them in ways that work for your unique neighborhood. Though these revelations about hidden dangers are disturbing, they ultimately serve to create safer communities where predators cannot hide in plain sight and where every family is protected by collective vigilance. If this information has helped, you feel more prepared to protect your family and community, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more essential safety content. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a crucial warning that could keep your loved ones safe. When you share this video, you extend its protection to everyone in your network. Each person who learns these warning signs through you strengthens the invisible shield of awareness that makes communities safer for everyone. We pray for the protection of your family and neighborhood from hidden dangers. If this message has helped you better understand how to secure your community, consider showing your appreciation with a super thanks of $5, $10, $20 or more. Your support funds the research behind these life-saving videos. Please share in the comments what community safety topics you'd like us to cover next. Your suggestions help us provide the protection information families need most.